Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just wanted to make one final comment on the underlying bill to my colleagues. I've dealt with a lot of victims in my career, and victims have a hard time coming forward. And once you get them there, to get them to continue on in the investigation and give statements, then continue through the prosecution phase, sometimes an appeal process, and to get them to make a victim's impact statement at sentencing are all difficult steps along the way. And what we've heard on this bill is a lot of a loud voice from one side. And we don't hear so much from victims because they're just tired and they don't want to relive it anymore. And I think that, I don't think that any of my colleagues came here today and said, well, I don't care about victims. I don't think any of my colleagues think that. And I'm not going to suggest that they do. What I think happens sometimes is we get into a bit of an echo chamber and sometimes inadvertently may lose sight that there is a loud voice in a lot of people that are just too tired to come forward anymore. And I urge my colleagues to think of those victims, and their silence on this issue is really loud because it just shows how beaten down they are and how much of an effect this has had on them that they can't even come forward anymore to combat this bill. So I would just suggest to my colleagues on this underlying bill, please consider how those victims are feeling today. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.